Coming up next on BG24 News.
The campus and community are challenging discrimination this week. See how you can help.
Ridge Elementary was set to be demolished a few months ago. We'll tell you how the city plans to use the land.
And a stolen stuffed falcon has reappeared at BGSU. Find out how police would handle future animal thefts.
Plus, a look at your Black Sun weather forecast. Welcome to your campus and community connection.
Wood County's live local news starts right now. This is BG24 News, live at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gemma Schultz.
And I'm Danielle Griffith. Thank you for joining us tonight. BGSU students were forced out of the technology building yesterday.
They evacuated because a construction crew struck a nearby gas line. Construction workers were building a new forensics lab when they hit the line. This forced students to steer clear of the area between 1 and 2:30.
A BGSU paleontology class visited the world-famous quarry on Saturday. BG24's Jonathan Kyle does the Northwest Quarry. It's known for its old and diverse rocks.
Paleontology students chipped away at 400-million-year-old rocks on a trip to White House, Ohio. Back then, White House was located in a tropical seafloor environment. So on Saturday, students found dozens of marine fossils.
This is part of a snail.
Dr. Peg Yakabuchi says many people are unaware this part of Ohio is recognized for its fossils.
It's unusual for rocks of this age to have so many different kinds of animals preserved. And so it's a good opportunity for the students to see all these different kinds of fossils.
Dr. Yakabuchi and her students use sunglasses and a rock hammer to chip away at the rock. The sunglasses protect their eyes from the rocks. Graduate student William Garnes both takes and teaches geology classes. He says getting out of the classroom is refreshing.
It's just more interactive, and it just really is a great learning aid. It's easier to understand the concepts when you actually get out to see them.
The quarry is about 15 acres wide. It's made of limestone that is about 60 feet deep. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Jonathan Kyle.
Professor Yakabuchi says geologists from around the world visit the White House Quarry. The most recent foreign visit were a group of German scientists.
A falcon returned to its nest earlier this week. The BGSU Biological Sciences Department noticed its stuffed peregrine falcon was missing last week. The falcon's display case had 2 locks. Police say it appeared someone had tampered with the lock. The department just wanted the bird back, no questions asked. And on Saturday, it was anonymously returned. The department has no interest in pressing charges, and police say it's up to the department whether they want to pursue an investigation, especially since this is the first time something like this has happened.
Now, if we would continue to have further issues with things like that, we might not allow them to do that and would pursue it criminally.
The falcon is part of the university's ornithology collection and is just one of 2,400 stuffed birds.
This week has been dedicated to stopping discrimination in Bowling Green. Reporter Alexis Cook says participants want to promote acceptance in the campus and community.
The campus and community kicked off Not in Our Town Week Tuesday night. The event brought awareness about stopping discrimination. Vicki Kalicki says the event helped people understand more about the program.
And events like tonight are the kind of events that you need to first get the dialogue going and talking about it. And I think that if we can put the name to it, that when incidents happen and when we've had things happen, people can look to it.
The opening event explained why Not in Our Town is at Bowling Green. High school student Grace Easterly says it helps bring Bowling Green community closer together.
Sometimes it feels like we're separated by the railroad tracks between the town and the university, and I think it's important that we cross those boundaries and create a unified community.
In addition to bringing the community together, participants of Not in Our Town challenges students to stand up against those who discriminate. BGSU students and community members are wearing buttons and signing a pledge to stop hate altogether. Kalicki hopes to impact the campus and community. She says campus and community members can use a simple slogan to stop hate.
I hope the impact on the campus is it gives a name and it gives a word for people who sometimes don't know what to say when unfortunate things happen around them, when racial slurs are said or tweets, and when all you have to say is not in our town.
Not in Our Town began in spring at BGSU. The program was in response to offensive tweets directed at African American students. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Alexis Cook.
As part of the Not in Our Town Week, the Latino Student Union joined together last night to recognize racial discrimination. The students discussed equality among races. The Latino Student Union co-advisor says it's important to understand the difference between the terms illegal immigrant and undocumented citizen. He says the term illegal immigrant has a negative connotation, and he hopes to encourage community awareness about the equality.
Our hope is by educating the community today that we can begin that conversation and start getting some stuff out there to the administration to sort of say, hey, if we value the principles of Not in Our Town, then let's stop using the term illegal to describe a segment of our population.
Not in Our Town will be hosting events throughout the rest of the week. They'll end the week with a fashion show Saturday evening. This will be in Olskamp from 8 to 10:30.
Now let's get our first look at weather for the weekend with forecaster Lacey Hagan.
Thanks, Danielle. Well, currently we do have a moderate temperature up in the mid-40s and widespread rain throughout the area, but stay tuned for my forecast as I'll show you what it'll be like for your evening commute and what to expect for the week.
Thanks, Lacey. Ridge Elementary will be demolished soon, and coming up, find out what will take its place.
And the holidays right around the corner, find out when you can see Bowling Green's parade.
Plus your Black Swamp weather forecast. Don't go away.
In community news, the holidays are approaching quickly, and so are holiday parades. BG's annual holiday parade will be this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. There will be more than 10 marching bands and more than 100 floats. The event is sponsored by the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce. The parking and admission are free.
After months of deliberation, Bowling Green now has plans for a local school. Reporter Brooke Ebersol joins us live to explain the school's future. Brooke?
Thanks, Gemma. Ridge Elementary was built in the 1930s and was a functioning school up until this May. The city brought the property and plans to make changes to the location. Though some memories may be lost, some citizens are excited for what's to come.
After budget cuts and a failing levy, Bowling Green City Schools sold Ridge Elementary to the city in August. Ridge Elementary shut its doors to the public just a few months ago, but there are some big changes coming for the property. The city is planning to soon tear down the school. However, some residents are concerned about losing an important part of the elementary, its playground. City Council member Daniel Gordon says the city is concerned about preserving that part of the facility.
And the plan is to raise community funds to purchase new amenities to make it a fully functioning neighborhood park.
Community members say a play space is needed because there is a lack of parks in the area. Gordon says City Council has received positive feedback from families who are excited about the park.
I received one letter from a family that had raised their kids at the Ridge site, had their kids play on that playground for years, and they're really happy to see that they can take their grandkids there now when it becomes a park.
One Ridge Street resident says the park will be a nice addition to the area, but hopes the city sticks with its plan.
I think it's a good thing if they're going to make it a park, but I've seen where they've tore things down and they don't really do what they actually say they're going to do. So if they make it a park, it'll be great.
The city is currently in the process of disconnecting utilities to prepare for the demolition.
City Council hopes to plan a brick giveaway from the building. Members hope this will help commemorate the school. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Brooke Ebersol.
Thanks, Brooke. Perrysburg police have parents on high alert this afternoon. A man repeatedly asked a 10-year-old boy if he needed a ride home yesterday afternoon. It happened around 4 p.m. near the Brookhaven subdivision. Police believe the suspect was driving a black SUV or truck. Anyone with information is asked to call Perrysburg police.
North Baltimore sirens rang out Sunday like most local cities did, but some citizens failed to hear them. North Baltimore police fear the sirens are too quiet. The 3 of them are located at the fire department, a water treatment plant, and a sewage facility. These locations are on the east side, making it hard for west side residents to hear. Adding another siren would cost about $20,000. Councilman William Cameron says the cost of the siren is nothing compared to the cost of a life.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Coming up, Lacey Hagan will tell us what the weather will be like for Turkey Week. Stay with us.
Good evening, Wood County. I'm Lacey Hagan, and I'll have a look at your local Black Swamp weather. Currently, we have a very moderate temperature of about 47 degrees, lots of rain showers out there, so be careful for your evening commute. It looks like we're going to be carrying these rain showers into tonight as we only drop a few temperatures down to 43. Very warm for this time of the year. We're talking mid-November, late November. We're above freezing at night, so this is really nice. 43 for the night. Still a very high chance of rain as we go into tonight's forecast. And now we look at tomorrow's forecast. Same temperatures really, right up to 45 degrees, a couple of AM showers. You can't throw that out of your morning commute. And now as we go into tomorrow night's forecast, this is really the big story for the weekend. We have our wind change to the northwest, so we will be bringing in those Arctic breezes out of the north, which will drop us down below freezing for our low tomorrow night. As we take a look out at our regional radar, everyone is covered in rain. So that's definitely going to be your evening commute and maybe into tomorrow. So for your temperatures, the main temperature we have throughout the area is your 45 degrees, right into those mid 40s. So no freezing tonight. And as we look out at our national weather, okay, we're going to have this whole band of rain come through northern Ohio. But now as we go into Saturday, that's where we're going to have our winds change and come out of north. We'll be experiencing the Arctic winds coming in, which will bring us down into our freezing temperatures. And as we look at our 5-day forecast, Friday, we climb up to 45 degrees, still carry those rain showers, but Saturday into Sunday, we will definitely be cooler. As you take a look, Saturday down to 16, that is a huge drop. Be expected to have some black ice over the weekend as we've had plenty of rain, so watch out for that. Monday, that little chance of snow showers, and into Tuesday will be just a little bit above freezing. So really, this is just bringing in that weather for Thanksgiving. Definitely this time of the year to be having those cold temperatures.
Yes, I've come to grips with the cold weather now. I'm just happy if it doesn't rain on Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's
Isn't that true? An earthquake shook southern Ohio yesterday. The 3.5 magnitude quake was felt from West Virginia to Columbus. It was the most powerful earthquake Ohio has felt since 2011. There have been no reports of damage from the event, and experts say earthquakes in Ohio are usually too minor to be noticed.
A controversial Stand Your Ground bill has moved to the Ohio Senate. Yesterday, the firearms bill passed in the House vote. Despite efforts of some protesters, the bill still needs to be approved by the Senate to be passed. If passed, the bill would allow any person to use a deadly force in self-defense in almost all circumstances.
The Senate will also be considering a health bill. The Ohio House passed a bill that allows general use epinephrine shots to be stocked in school clinics. This bill will not force educators to stock the injectors, but it will remove barriers that made them harder to access. Right now, it is illegal for schools to give students allergy shots.
Coming up after the break, we'll have BG24 Sports, but let's get a quick look at what's to come. Katie Werke.
Well, thanks, Danielle. There was a big trade last night in Major League Baseball. We'll take a look at that, and there are plenty of weekend sports to keep an eye on. Plus, we'll have an exclusive interview with the Bleacher Creatures on this weekend's upcoming games. All of this and more when we come back.
It's un-Falcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome to BG24 Sports. I'm Katie Werke. Men's basketball will be on the court tonight to take on 12th ranked Wisconsin. Traveling to Madison, this match will start off the 4-game Cancun Challenge for the Falcons. Now, the last time these two teams met was 22 years ago in 1991. BG has not played since Friday, where they fell to the USF Bulls. The team is sitting at 1-1, but is hoping to take some wins home this weekend. Game time tonight is at 8 p.m., and you can catch it on ESPN3. Now, this weekend, the hockey team will hit the ice against Minnesota State University in a WCHA matchup. The Mavericks are 4-6-0, while the Falcons post a record of 5-4-3. The two teams already met earlier this month, where the series split in a 1-1 tie. In the WCHA coaches poll, Minnesota State ranks first, while BGSU sits at 4th. Bowling Green is ranked first in the WCHA in scoring defense, though, giving up an average of 2.42 goals per game, while the Mavericks are ranked 9th in scoring offense, averaging only 1.9 goals per game. BG is 5th in that category with an average of 3. It will be a matchup to see this weekend, as both games will be home at the Ice Arena. Now, the MAC tournament begins this weekend for volleyball. 4th-seeded Bowling Green will take on 5th-ranked Northern Illinois, and many Falcons are getting the opportunity to see the game. Reporter Christy Kopanis has more on the matchup. The Huskies and the Falcons both hold the same record in the MAC with 10-6, but Northern Illinois has a better overall record with 18-12. BG comes in even at 14-14. The tournament will start on Friday and continue throughout the weekend. With a win for the Falcons, they would get a bid to the NCAA tournament. Now, in the world of professional sports, Jimmy Johnson won his 6th NASCAR Sprint Cup championship this past Sunday. This is Johnson's 6th title in 8 years. He is now 1 championship away from tying legends Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Sr. In MLB news, late yesterday evening, the first big trade of the offseason took place. Detroit Tigers first baseman Prince Fielder will head to Texas in exchange for the Rangers' second baseman Ian Kinsler. Fielder's $214 million contract with the Tigers still had 7 years left. Fielder will give the Rangers a strong lefty hitter for their lineup, something they were hoping to acquire this winter. In 2013, Prince batted .279, hitting in 25 homers and 106 RBIs. But Kinsler is not a bad acquisition for the Tigers. The 3-time All-Star player batted a .277 this past year with 13 homers and 72 RBIs. Now, taking it back to BG, it is a traveling weekend for Falcon sports. The only home game will be that Friday and Saturday hockey matchup against Minnesota State. Both games are set to start at 7:07. Now for the away games, starting on Friday, again the volleyball team starts their play in the MAC tournament at 2 p.m. Women's basketball will hit the court against Marist for the Hall of Fame Challenge in Columbus at 5:30. And swimming will start their weekend meet at the TYR Invitational. On Saturday, football will travel to Eastern Michigan. The Falcons are 7-3, while the Eagles sit at 2-8. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Women's basketball will continue play, taking on Old Dominion at 6, with men's basketball hitting the court later at St. Louis. That tip-off is at 8 p.m. On Sunday, women's basketball will be up again, playing Ohio State at 3:30. As always, we will have highlights and scores on Monday. Well, when we come back, I'm going to sit down with Ryan Sowers from the Bleacher Creatures. Stay tuned. Well, I am here with Ryan Sowers from the Bleacher Creatures. Thank you again for joining us. We're just going to jump right on into it. What can you tell us about the Bleacher Creatures? What do you guys do?
Well, it's a tradition started back in 1978. About 8 to 10 guys, they started it. They lived in Kreischer, and they were floor mates. And they went to a home and home game with Western Michigan. They drove up there, dressed up in hockey gear, and that's where it all started. And they came back the next night, and it caught on. Essentially, it used to be the 3 spirit groups. It used to be Freddie and Frida, Sick Sick, and the Bleacher Creatures. When the group of guys, they graduated, they didn't pass it on to anybody. So last year, myself and a few buddies, we brought it back, and now it's just starting to catch on, so we're really excited about that.
Okay, and you guys did recently get recognized by the NCAA hockey Twitter page. You won a competition for, you're now the background of their Twitter page. What do you think that says about student body involvement?
You know, I think finally we're getting to a point where people are excited about BG sports and actually care and are engaged. And that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to do is just engage students. You know, when you go to a game, don't just sit there on your phone, don't just sit there talking to friends. Be engaged in what's going on the ice, and if it's on the court, if it's on the field, whatever, just be engaged.
And what can you say about Coach Bergeron and the hockey team's support of the Bleacher Creatures?
It's been amazing. They've been everything and more to us. They've been really gracious to us. Coach Bergeron has met with me a few times, bouncing ideas off of him, just asking him his opinion, because the number one thing is we're there to create a better experience for the team to play, and we want to make it extremely difficult for teams to play in the ice arena, and we have done so. We're undefeated at home right now, and we want to keep it that way.
Now, do you guys have anything going on for the games this weekend?
Oh yeah.
Big matchup?
Oh yeah. We got 500 free mustaches for the first 500 fans. It's an official Movember.com event, so you can go on the website. It's a national push this month to grow mustaches to raise awareness for male-related cancer. We're trying to raise awareness for like prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and also mental health. And so yeah, 500 free mustaches for the first 500 fans. We made them, and then on top of that, we're giving away the golden mustache to the hockey player with the best stash. So we're really excited about it.
Okay, I'll definitely have to try and make it out for those games. Thanks again for joining us today. When we come back, we'll have more from BG24 News.
3 women are free today from being in captivity for 3 decades. Police say the women are highly traumatized but have been taken to a safe place. A documentary on forced marriages group prompted an investigation.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We hope you guys have a wonderful holiday break.
Yeah, because I'm very excited to go home.
Yeah.
And that's all for BG24 Sports tonight.
Check out these stories and more online at bg24news.org.
And on social media at facebook.com/BG24news and twitter.com/BG24news.
Have a good night, everyone.